This boy was vaping. Vaping. He sat on the big toy train, and was vaping confidently in public. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm very pleased to have you all here with me. So today, I'm going to be giving some pointers for parents who are planning to relocate to the abroad, specifically to the UK. But of course, you know that some of these things applies generally in European countries, the relocation to US, Canada, and the likes, but I'm sure of the UK. So I'm going to be giving pointers to parents who are planning to relocate abroad. First, as much as you can, teach your children your language. Let them know some important nitty-gritty. Better still, if they can speak your language completely, fantastic. But let them know some important points when you're trying to tell them something codedly that you do not want everybody to know about. So teaching your children your language is very important. Also, let your children know the difference between your society, where you're coming from, that's our society, and the society abroad. It is different though. You know that when your child comes to school in Nigeria, for example, and maybe your child is not happy or something, or you smack your child and the child goes to school sad, and the teacher asks the child, what happened, why are you sad? If the child says, oh, I did something, so my mother smacked me, even the teacher will say, oh good, next time don't do that. But here, they will be asking the child, your mother smacked you, and before you know it, 911, the police officers, social services, all of them will just appear knocking at your door. Boy, boy, boy. I'm going to give you several examples that I've heard about in recent times. But another thing that we do where we come from is smacking is allowed. Flogging is allowed. I'm laughing. I'm the only one that knows why I'm laughing. But in the UK here, or in these foreign countries where you are eager to relocate to, it is called child abuse. It is not if the authorities hear that you smack your children, you don't even want to find yourself in that situation. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 examples. I understand that a lot of parents who have relocated to the UK from Nigeria, to be specific, I'm going to be as specific as possible because I know people who directly know these people. That's how I heard this story. Who have relocated to the UK have had their children taken from them. So, 1, a parent goes to the shopping mall with her children. She shops and everything. When they get to the cashier, they pay only for them to get to the door. And then the siren goes off. Pam, pam, pam. You know that siren that goes off when it shows that you have taken something that you did not pay for at the mall. By the time they checked, she saw that one of her children was holding a toy she didn't know about and they hadn't paid for. And she felt literally embarrassed. And she looked at the child and said, do you know what that means? Anyway, I'll tell you what it means. She said before she took 1-2 steps forward, it's not about the fact that they understood what she said. Of course, they did not understand what she said, but I'm sure they could tell that she was embarrassed, and then her facial expression when she was communicating with that child showed that something was off. Guess what? Within the next nothing less than 2 minutes before they stepped out of the mall, that entire shop was shut down. Police officers and security people were there. Apparently, the cashier probably pressed one button under her table to alert that danger, this child is in danger. I'm telling you. She said she explained what happened, and they asked the child, what is the meaning of what your mother told you? And the child said, it means, I'll kill you when we get home today. And they were shocked. Like, you kill this child? They literally collected all of her children, not only the one that she was planning to kill, of which we all know that, if you're from my side of the world, you will know that she did not literally mean it. They collected all her 4 children. She had to be going back and forth to social services, trying to explain that no, she didn't mean it literally, that, it's just a saying. Too much stress. They took her children away from her for 3 good months before she eventually had her children back. Next time, I'm sure she's not even going to try anything. That's example 1. Up onto example 2. This is the story of another mother who, this one, the child was actually the one who called the police authorities on the mother. And that's the only child the mother had. And guess what happened, guys? The child was taken away from the mother. Maybe the mother grounded him or scolded him, something as, basic as that. So if you are in the country where I am from, be thanking your God whether you are in the country where I am from, because I love my country, I love the fact that we're raising children that are disciplined, that can, respond to discipline. They took this child away from her. They never ever give her child back. She's a single mother. That's her only child. Now the child is over 18, so the child is an adult. The child is not accountable to anybody anymore. And yeah, they say they see him once in a while, dressing how he likes, doing stuff. But Sarah, what has been done has been done. Now let me tell you this one more story. But there's this other family that I know, and they relocated to the UK. So whatever happens, the children were getting ready for school that morning. I think they have about 3 children, and the mother, something happened. The mother scolded one of the children, or maybe just smacked a little, not flog, smacked. And by the time the child was going to school, the child was looking sad. You know how sometimes children can be sulking over something they should just get over immediately. She got to school and the teacher was asking her, "Are you okay?" She said, "No." She said, "Are you sad?" She said, "Yes, I'm sad." "Why are you sad?" "My mama smacked me." "Your mama what?" "She smacked you." Guess what? The children did not get back home that day. The 3 children, not only the one that was sad though, the 3 children, they took them away from them for 3 weeks. Do you know what it means to have your children away from you just for 3 days? Especially when you don't even know how they are doing, how they are faring. And of course, who does not love their child? Took them away for 3 weeks before they could convince, or whatever process it was. In the Asian and African community, these European people say that they know that we discipline our children and we don't take misbehavior, lightly. We're very firm with discipline. Yet they know. But you're in their society. They will not let you come and influence other parents or other Oyinbo parents, so to say that, yes, you can be smacking your child anyhow. It's child abuse. So before you relocate, mentally reset and default your factory setting before they come and collect your children from you. Another thing you need to consider, if you're coming with your spouse, you people should sit down and discuss what is the purpose of your coming. Are you coming for work or are you coming to school? If both of you are coming to work, you guys need to have a plan, have an agreement, especially when you have younger children. Of course, I'm talking to parents with younger children who want to relocate. How are we going to do it? Both of you cannot go out in the morning like in Nigeria. You go out in the morning, work, you close, you go back home. No, that is not how it works here. So it is either you make up your mind and say, "Oh, I'll do morning shifts. You, my spouse, you do night shifts," and vice versa. So that as you are coming back, you are exchanging the children, somebody's at home. Because you cannot leave your children at home and say you dash away. If the neighbor catches you and eavesdrops on you, that shows you're not a responsible parent. In Nigeria, they will say, "Wow, your children are maturing, you are growing. Wow, you left them alone and they were fine." Here, you are the parent who is not responsible, leaving those small children who are not yet adults at home, right? So you need to decide. If it is for school, do not live far away from where your school is. If your school is in London, get a residence close to where your school is. Not that you'll be schooling in London and be living in Manchester, or you'll be schooling it will be exhausting. The time of transportation is enough, to do something productive. Sometimes they advise that, okay, maybe you would have planned before you leave that, okay, maybe the husband should work first for the first 6 months, let the wife be at home, taking care of the children. Then maybe for the next 6 months, they will now exchange and say, "Okay, wife, you go and work." But I hear gist that if it is the wife that comes and starts working first for the first 6 months and she's enjoying, all the pay she's getting and everything, by the time it's time for the husband to go and do his own 6 months, to augment and stabilize, the wife will start quarreling that, "No, she's enjoying making money." They say that is what causes some of their marital issues, because how money is now. If you are worshiping money, you know how people react to money. So you need to have a strategic plan. Be sure that you're on the same page with your partner. And if it is one person that wants to work, fantastic, and the other person take care of the children, fantastic. But come with a plan. Don't let it just jump on you like that. Another thing you need to know is make inquiries about daycare. If you know that both of you want to work or whatever the case is, Google how much is it online to take your child to daycare in the area in which you're going to stay when you get to the UK or when you get to that country you want to relocate to. Yeah? Just as an example, you're earning £15, for example, per hour. And the nanny you're employing or the daycare you want to take your child to says the payment is £10 per hour. You are working for them. The work you are doing is for them, because how much would you have left at the end of the day? So these are things you need to consider. And if you happen to be in a neighborhood where you have something they call a black nanny area, that means maybe there's somebody of like culture or something that they have a nanny, you may not be paying as much as you would in a proper school format, so to say. But most times those kind of nanny areas, they are not licensed though. So if you're taking your child there, it's at your own risk. But if they now catch that person who is doing the unlicensed black nanny area, or they catch you yourself that are taking your children to school, both of you are in trouble. So you need to pay attention to the nitty-gritty of these things as you are coming. Another thing is, this environment requires your children to be confident in you. Peer pressure is real. You need to be your child's friend from where you're coming from, not only when you get here, so that your children will be able to tell you anything. Do you understand? Now, if you have a home lesson or something for your child, and this applies to where we are, the country we're from, if you have a home teacher or something for your children, and the moment your child complains that I don't like this teacher, I don't want him to come and take me again, or I don't want her to come and take me again, don't even think about it. Just note it. Don't sweep it under the carpet. Don't overlook it. They know what they're saying, because most times these people would have threatened the children or something. We've heard stories of where home teachers in this abroad as aborted child for this as aborted pregnancy for the child he's taking. So these are not things you need to overlook when your child makes those kind of complaints. Let me give you an example of what I saw yesterday, just yesterday. So we went to the park, and at the park, of course, you have the free area, you have the children area, where you have lots of children playing, with external outdoor facilities. Guess what I saw? I saw a small boy. By the time my husband and I looked at him and assessed him, maximum, maybe he's 10 years old, but I very much doubt it because he's very chubby. He'll probably be around 8 or 9. This boy was vaping. He sat on the big toy train, and was vaping confidently in public, where there were so many other children, nothing less than 700 children there. And you could see parents looking at him. People were hesitating to walk up to him, But eventually I saw some parents, they started taking their children away from where he was, But that is not how to confront the issue. Somebody who is very close to us that we went with actually had to go and meet him, but unfortunately, before she saw it, it was even my daughter that came to meet me and said, "Mommy, look at that boy, he's vaping." It was when we reached Yegansef that we realized we knew the meaning of vaping. I didn't know the meaning of vaping before. The cigarette, I know that they smoke cigarettes. Yeah, so vaping is electric cigarettes. Yes, like it is all over, everywhere, young boys, but this one was a child doing it at the playground. Only for me to see in that train another little child, which would probably be about 6 or 7, looks like he has a small stature, was talking to him, and because the boy saw that people were looking at him uncomfortably, he put the vaping thing in his pockets. By the time he saw the other little child was in the train, he went into the train with this guy, because there were lots of parents around, but not everybody was paying attention. But because I had seen him vaping, I was paying attention to what he was doing. And then he brings out the vaping. I saw that child talking to him, and then he gives the child quickly sucks it in and then smokes it out. I was alarmed. It was immediately that my big sister actually walked up to him and asked him and had to confront him, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing here?" Are you here to vape or play? That you don't do that where other children are, and he started stammering. Eventually, he saw that somebody walked up to him, and immediately his brother, all of them, they ran out of the playground, and their parents were far away. So the question is, did the parents know or did parents not know? It is what you can poke nose in. It's not plenty like that. So there are times you have to mind your business. Because my big sister had to threaten him that I'm going to call the police on you for what you're doing, and he literally started stammering and ran away. So look at that small innocent child whose parent probably was not close by or watching. That one had already sucked in one sucking up. Maybe it's his first time. Maybe it's not his first time. We do not know. So these things are deep. So when you're coming to far away from, you need to be your child's friend. That being said, now let's talk about dressing. How do you dress for your children? If they are dressing very, very decently at home where they're coming from and you are relocating to this type of country, be sure to continue, because the truth of the matter is the children of the rich, the children of those who are well-to-do and who are rich, they are very well dressed. They dress properly, they are, properly dressed and presentable. It is children of the poor people, children who their parents probably, I don't know, but children of those who are not rich are the ones who wear torn jeans, sagging, showing their breast lines. Yes, that is what we see here. But children of those who are from good homes, who are children of the rich, they're the ones who dress properly, neatly, and presentable. Teach your children to cook. Teach them to make things like sandwich, Teach them to make things like to be able to microwave food that I've already packed for them, so that if you have to dash out or dash in, they can quickly take care of themselves during that period of time. And remember, be your neighbor's friend. It is better to be your neighbor's friend than to be your neighbor's enemy, or than to act like you don't know that there's anybody. Be your neighbor's friend, so that they can, as much as be on the lookout for you, you also be on the lookout for them. If you are your neighbor's friend, they will guide you. They will help you. Oh, this is how we do here. This is how we don't do it. Oh, really? You need help? Oh, I'll show you how to get the bus, how to do this. But if you're not your neighbor's friend, leave that child at home. That 10-year-old child, Chibi, that you're saying is smart in Nigeria. Oh, I can leave my 10-year-old child at home. Come and leave the child at home here. It's your neighbor that will call 911 on you and say, my neighbor just left the house and I can't see the child with him or her. That means he left the children at home. And you will be in trouble for it, to be, even though I'm laughing, honestly, but it is, it is that deep. It is that deep. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 3 more things and I'm done. For phones, do not give your children smartphones. Yes, do not give your children smartphones, because here, apart from the fact that the internet is good, stable, it is here that you will see, should be those ones that they are forcing our children to watch adverts. We are still far now. Here, you will see adverts that will shock you on your children's, activity on the internet. So as much as possible, just get a phone for them that can, make calls, send messages. Except they have school homework, they can use, the laptop or something supervised. So that's another way to protect your children, right? And there's also something about integration. When you move here, as much as possible, integrate. Yes, there are Black people who have, maybe a Nigerian association of this, and things like that. But integrate. Don't let your child feel inferior to anybody. When they go to the playground, let them play with anybody. Let them play with everybody. If they walk up to a white person, if they walk up to an East Asian person, if they walk up to a North Asian, whoever they walk up to, let them play. Don't come with any preconceived notion that, oh, these people are racist, these people. Relax. There are, as much as we feel like that about them, there are some of us who also have a lot of issues, from where we're coming from. Relax, integrate. Of course, still be at the alert and be good, have good intentions. But ultimately, pray for your children, because it is God that protects our children wherever we are, when we are there, or even when we are not there. Not to talk about when we are even there. It's God that protects our children. So ultimately, commit your children in the hands of God. Teach them the word of God. and you'll be just fine. I wish you all the best in your relocating activities. I hope you have benefited one or two things. Please share with anybody who you know is planning to relocate, and I hope this blesses you. Bye.